Four men went into the final day of this controversial tournament with a chance of the title. Three of them are now licking their wounds. Who among them has plumbed the lowest depths of despair, we wonder? Mitakeumi, for blowing his chance to force a playoff at the death? Asanoyama, for those consecutive defeats when victory mattered most? Or Shodai, deprived of a maiden title shot on the final day for the second Tokyo event running? Mitakeumi did exceptionally well. Pre-tournament he complained about the ban on visiting other stables, with good reason. He has no other salaried wrestlers with whom to practice at Dewanomi. Despite that, he looked bulkier and more solid than ever, powering his way past the middle rankers, hurling Asanoyama from the ring, and even outwitting Hakuho at the rope. Those two wins earned him a 6th Outstanding Performance prize even before his final match. Might the prize-giving committee now be wishing they'd incentivized him more by making the prize conditional on defeat of Terunofuji? Mitake clearly saw that match as a chance to show his maturity under pressure. He was devastated to learn that in that respect he hasn't grown at all. "Today was regrettable," he said between heavy sighs. "I just couldn't impose my sumo properly. Well, at least I got to my goal of double figures. I want to do my best to aim higher next tournament." He puts huge pressure on himself, his vast fan army puts huge pressure on him, as well they should, for he's a two-time champion. His Ozeki campaign is now officially back on track 2 years after his first attempt to get there. With his 28th birthday just months away, now is surely the time to deliver. 26-year-old Asanoyama showed the necessary steel to beat Mitakeumi to the second rank, but as the reality of becoming only the 9th Ozeki debutant to win the cup dawned, he crumbled. Terunofuji, who had long singled him out for practice, demolished him in their Day 13 showdown, and the following afternoon he reacted slowly to a Terutsuyoshi leg pull he half knew was coming. Although he finished strongly with a one-sided win over Shodai, his coach's words still ring true. He was lucky to get the title with 12 wins last year, and he still has to find a way to go beyond 12. Speaking to NHK after his final match, Asanoyama said, "On the past 2 days I've fought badly, so it was nice to finish up with some real Ozeki sumo and start looking like myself again. Yes, it was tough to see the title won in front of my eyes, but I had a job to do in the final bout and made sure I was ready. Overall, I've got to look at why I couldn't impose my style in the second week the way I could in the first, and correct that accordingly. Finishing with 3 losses is mortifying. I feel such a weakling. I guess I was thinking too much about an Ozeki's responsibility towards the end. But we have another tournament coming up, and I'm going to get over this." Sumo chairman Hakkaku insisted Asanoyama should not be so self-critical. "When the 3 top rankers pull out and you suddenly find yourself the main man, that's a high-pressure situation," he explained. As an Ozeki, he's passed his first test. A title win would have made him an automatic Yokozuna contender, but Chief Judge Isegahama now says that 12 wins this time is not enough, and that even if he takes the September title on the back of this, he will not be considered for promotion yet. And I'm sure his own coach would agree. Shodai was the only one of the 4 contenders without a title going into Sunday's bouts. His bitter experience in January still leads him to replay that crucial match with Tokushoryu inside his brain, and he told himself repeatedly not to think about the trophy. He beat Mitakeumi in the battle of the high-flying Sekiwake. He beat Terunofuji without even breaking sweat on day 14, perhaps his finest performance in years. That's what Terunofuji's opponent should be doing. Fear for his knees means he can't do anything while moving backwards. And yet, Shodai's losses to Takanosho, Daieisho, and Hokutofuji, all ranked below him, proved his undoing. "It was a shame to miss out," he said in his final interview. "My 11 wins this time are a result of really going for it. Overall, my body showed good movement and reactions, and I feel I really showed my power when the chips were down on day 14. But my finishing moves were weak throughout, so I've got to work on that. This tournament did give me confidence, though. His long-awaited Ozeki run has finally begun, just 3 months before his 29th birthday. I will do my best to climb up to Ozeki, he vowed, having won 43 of his last 60 bouts, and doubtless providing strength to the flood-hit citizens of his native Kumamoto. Going forward, I want to show stability, not ups and downs like before. My win rate is clearly connected to a good Tachi-ai, so that's what I'll build upon. He walks away with his 5th Fighting Spirit prize, his 3rd in 4 tournaments, and the pundits agree he's looking bigger and stronger than ever. Exciting times then at the top of the rankings chart with Mitakeumi and Shodai, joined by Terunofuji and Dai Eisho as the 4 possible Ozeki contenders. And yet, the more things change, the more they stay the same. For no matter how absent the Yokozuna are, and how much the new Japanese contenders are hyped, the Mongolian-born man still wins.